Am I overreacting for giving my stressed spouse a to-do list? I am currently sitting in my kitchen feeling incredibly guilty, confused, and disconnected from my husband. I honestly don't know how to bridge the gap between us anymore. My husband and I have been married for 6 years, and we have a 3-year-old son. On paper, our life is great. We both have solid careers, a beautiful home, financial stability, and healthy families. But over the last few months, my husband has turned into a ghost of himself. He is moody, irritable, and has completely stopped finding joy in anything. This downward spiral started when his company abruptly fired his only teammate. My husband works in IT infrastructure, and this is their absolute peak season. Since January, he has been single-handedly running an entire department meant for a team. He is drowning, but he is the type of man who would rather collapse from exhaustion than ask for help. I've spent weeks dropping hints that he needs to find a professional therapist to talk to. I've been in therapy for 3 years myself, and it saved my mental health, so I kept pushing it. Every time I brought it up, he'd make excuses about his schedule. I reminded him that virtual therapy is incredibly flexible. He snapped back that it's easy for me to say because I work from home, whereas he has to be on site at an office all day. Finally, last week, his defenses completely broke down. He sent me a devastatingly long text message in the morning admitting that he is losing his mind and feels like he is drowning under the pressure. Instead of just listening, I shifted into fixer mode. I texted him back saying I had noticed his bad behavior at home and that I wanted to see positive changes from him. I told him he needed to immediately book a meeting with his boss to demand a lighter workload. I also told him that he needed to find a counselor because I simply didn't know how to support him anymore. His reply was immediate and brutal. He texted back saying the absolute last thing he wanted to hear while drowning was a new checklist of things he needs to do. He told me he already has a month's worth of backlog tasks and that I was just handing him more chores. He finished by saying, "This is exactly why I never open up to you. You never actually help me. You just lecture me on what I'm doing wrong." I panicked and apologized over text, but he went completely silent. That afternoon, our toddler got sick at daycare and had to be picked up early, which completely sidetracked the conversation. The very next morning, I left for a pre-planned weekend trip with my friends, so we didn't speak face-to-face for days. When I finally got back last night, I tried to check in on him. He just looked at me with complete exhaustion and said, "If you don't know how to support your own husband after 10 years together, and your only instinct is to give me a to-do list, then I don't know what else to say to you." I feel terrible. I wanted to help him, but I ended up making him feel entirely alone in his own marriage. Am I overreacting for how I handled his breaking point?